Greetings of the day and welcome to the session, all of you. So, in this session, let us start the second lesson, business environment. This is a very important lesson both from the examination point of view and also from the concept point of view. In this lesson, we have very important concepts that deals with business environment. Okay. So, mainly in this lesson, we will study about the micro factors and the macro factors that will affect our business. See, what do you mean by the word environment? Environment. See, environ means cover. What is covering you? To environ is to cover, or you can also think of environment as your surroundings. That means we already know that business cannot function without interacting with the environment. See, for example, let us assume that this is your business. This is your business, and your business depends on many factors. It depends on customers, it depends on suppliers, it depends on intermediaries, it depends on the policies of the government, the policies of the law, okay, the political parties, the technology, the global environment, the competitors. So, business depends on many factors which are around it, and without paying attention to those factors, to those conditions or to those events, you cannot run your business. So, that is the most important point we need to understand. So, in this lesson, we will study about all those things. See, sir, why we should study the lesson business environment? Because in business we have to make right kind of decisions, and to make right kind of decisions we require a lot of knowledge, and in order to get the knowledge we need a lot of information, okay, and we need to gather information from the environment. So, once you gather information from the environment and turn it into your knowledge, then you will come to know about your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats of your business. Then, if you make your decisions based on the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, then that decision will be a perfect decision. That will be very much helpful for the growth, survival and prosperity of your business. Okay. So, for that reason, we need to study the business environment to get good information, and that information we turn that into knowledge, and we will try to understand our SWOT situation, SWOT analysis, and basing on that we take the decisions. So, that is the process. That is how the procedure is followed. Okay. Now, let us directly go into the topic. The first topic is meaning and importance of studying the business environment. See, meaning of business environment. It consists of all external forces, factors or conditions. That means environment means all external forces, factors or conditions. See, around you in business, around you there are many things. These are all different factors, conditions and events. So, these all will show impact on your business. So, you want to find out what kind of impact they show on your business. So, that is the most important thing, and that exert some degree of impact on the business decisions, strategies and actions taken by the firm. See, these all factors, conditions, external forces, they show a lot of impact on our business. And that is the reason why we are interested in knowing about these factors. Because if you don't know these factors, if you don't pay attention to those conditions, and if you make decisions in your business, then those decisions may not be fruitful decisions. Those decisions may not be successful decisions. So for that purpose, definitely we will try to know the things. These factors are outside the firm and can lead to opportunities and threats to the firm. See, all these factors which are outside of your business, they may create either opportunities or threats. Now that is the reason we want to find out. For example, the government, recently the government announced Atmanirbhar Bharat 3.0 package. Now, for some businesses it will be an opportunity, and for some businesses it will be a threat. So now each and every business has to check out what is that Atmanirbhar Bharat 3.0 package, what the finance minister is telling in that. Is that really helpful to our business? Is that package favorable to our business? If that is favorable, whatever is favorable to you, you will call it as an opportunity. Okay. And if that is unfavorable to you, then you call it as a threat. See, the finance minister announcing Atmanirbhar Bharat 3.0 is an event, and that event may be favorable to you or may not be favorable to you. If it is favorable to you, you think that it is your opportunity, and if it is not favorable to you, you think that it is threat. Okay. So now, how can you know whether it is favorable or unfavorable? Means you have to listen, you have to observe, you have to scan the environment, you have to read the newspaper, you have to listen to what the Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is talking about. Then you will gather the information, then you will understand whether it is favorable or unfavorable. Okay. So why we need to study the environment? Because these factors, government, competitors, suppliers, intermediaries, these all factors can lead to both opportunities and threats to you. Now you have to find it out whether they are opportunity or threat. Like socio-economic, technological, suppliers, competitors, government, they all show impact on your business. See, what is the importance of studying the business environment? The success of a business depends on the environment. Always remember it. The success of a business depends on the environment. This is golden point number 1. Every businessman should remember it. And business should not only recognize the different elements of the environment, but also respect, adapt and manage and influence them. It is not just enough you monitor the environment and gather the information. But what you have to do? You have to respect the environment, or you have to adapt to the environment. You have to respect or adapt to the environment. Means you have to change your organization according to the changes in the environment. That is called as respecting or adapting. That means you should observe what is happening around you. You should observe, and then what you should do according to the changing conditions, that you should do. That is called as respecting or adapting. Means that you should change your policies, your strategies, your plans according to the changes in the external environment. That is called as respecting or adapting the environment. And also you should try to manage and influence the environment. That means you have to change according to the environment, and you have to manage the environment so that it will be favorable to you. And sometimes, if it is possible, you should try to influence the environment. Okay. Business must continuously monitor and adapt itself to the environment to survive and prosper. This is golden point number 2. That means if you want good survival and prosperity, success of your business, definitely you have to continuously monitor and adapt yourself to the changing external environment. Okay. So that is the most important point. Now let us go to topic 2, components of business environment. See, business environment can be divided into two parts, the internal environment and the external environment. Okay. Internal environment means what? Internal environment means, see, let us assume, for example, this box represents your business, and the environment inside your business, it is called internal environment, and the environment that is outside, it is called external environment. Okay. Then what do you mean by internal environment? Internal environment means your policies, your procedure, your organization structure, your organization culture, your values, your employees, the relationship between yourself and your employees. These all things come under internal environment. These all things come under internal environment. See, those are the things given here. Value system, your value system, because each and every company will have some values. They'll strictly follow those values. So every company will have mission and objectives. Every company will have an organization structure. Every company will have a culture. Every company will have the staff. So the quality of your staff and the relationship between the organization and the labor unions, your physical resources means your assets and your technology capabilities. These all things come under internal environment. But in this lesson, we will not study about this internal environment. Our main focus in this lesson is on external environment. We will mainly learn about micro environment and macro environment in this lesson. This internal environment is very important for strategy making, and that you will learn at your CA interlevel in the subject of strategic management. Okay. So our main focus in this lesson is on external environment. Now, internal environment consists of multiple elements existing within the organization, including management, employees, leadership styles and corporate culture. Already we studied that. External environment means a business does not operate in vacuum, that we know. See, can you operate your business in vacuum? Can you operate your business without having anyone? See, why you start a business actually? Because there is a customer in the environment, because there is a customer in the market. For the sake of customers, you are starting the business, isn't it? So, without customer, how can you start a business? And without supplier, how can you get the raw material? And without an intermediary, how can you distribute the goods? So, you require all these people. You require all these people in the environment to supply, to purchase, to distribute the goods. So, you cannot operate your business in vacuum. Vacuum means what? Where there is nothing. Where there is nothing, how can you start your business? Without customer, how can you do your business? So, this you need to think. So, a business does not operate in vacuum. It has to act and react to what happens outside the factory and within the office walls. That means a businessman has to closely observe what is happening in the environment. What changes are taking place in the environment. You have to observe. And accordingly, you have to adapt, react to the changes that are taking place in the environment. The factors that exist outside the business are known as external factors or influences. These will affect the internal functions, objectives, and the strategies of the business enterprise. And this external environment consists of two types, micro environment and macro environment. Now, micro environment consists of factors like organization, customers, competitors, market, suppliers, and intermediaries. See, these all micro factors we can remember. The micro environmental factors can be remembered as cosmic. C for competitors, O for organization, S for suppliers, M for market, I for intermediaries, and C for customers. And these all macro environmental factors can be remembered as spelt G. Macro environmental factors can be remembered as spelt G. S for socio-cultural, P for population. Population or demographic is one and the same. E for economic, L for legal political, T for technology, and G for global. So that means 6 micro factors plus 6 macro factors, a total of 12 factors we will study mainly in this lesson. Okay? Means how these factors influence a business, and a businessman has to definitely know about these factors before making the right kind of decisions in the business. Now, micro and macro environment. Micro environment, it is related to a small area or immediate periphery of an organization. See, let us draw another diagram here. So, this is, let us assume that this box represents your business and this represents the internal environment, and this circle represents the micro environment, and this outer circle represents the macro environment. Okay, let us label it. This is macro environment and this is micro environment and this is internal environment. Okay, so this you need to understand. Now we are learning about micro environment. It is related to a small area or immediate periphery of an organization. That is why we call micro environment with different names. What are the other names of micro environment? We can call it as micro environment, or you can call it as task environment, or you can call it as specific environment, or you can call it as immediate environment or direct environment. With all these names you can call micro environment, because micro environment is very close. It is the immediate periphery. Immediate periphery means what? You will be directly interacting. You will be directly interacting with the micro environment, and the micro environment is very close to you. Immediate means very close. See, macro environment is far away. That is why it is called remote environment or general environment. Whereas micro environment is called as immediate environment because it is very close to you. Why? See, what are the factors of micro environment? In micro environment, we have customers, we have suppliers, we have competitors, we have market, we have intermediaries, and we have organization, cosmic factors. See, you please tell me, can you do your business without interacting with your customers, without interacting with your competitors, without interacting with your suppliers, without interacting with your intermediaries? No, absolutely no. So, the factors that are in the micro environment, are closely related to the business, and a businessman has to regularly and directly, he has to interact with these micro level factors at a daily operating level. Yes, every day in business we have to talk to the customers, we have to talk to our suppliers, we have to talk to our intermediaries, we have to observe what our competitors are doing, we have to check for ourselves. See, what is business? It is selling. To whom you will sell? To competitors, to customers. You need to make production in business. That means you require raw material. That means you need to interact with the suppliers. So, without interacting with these people on a daily operating level, you cannot continue your business. That is the most important thing. So, that is why this micro environment is called as immediate environment. It's very close to you, and you will have a direct interaction with the factors of that environment. Hence, it is called a direct environment. And if you want to do your task of business, you have to definitely interact with that environment. Hence, it is called task environment. And you know, and this micro environment is very specific. Specific means your micro environment will be different and my micro environment will be different. For example, let us say there are two people, X and Y, they are doing the same type of business. They are in similar businesses, but they'll have different micro environment. Why? Because X customer will be different and Y customer will be different. X supplier will be different, Y supplier may be different. X intermediaries may be different, Y intermediaries may be different. Okay, X competitors may be different, Y competitors may be different, and sometimes they may be competitors to each other. And X organization is different, Y organization is different. Okay, so we'll have different micro environment. But if this X and Y, they are operating business in India, now they have the same macro environment. They have the same macro environment. Why? Because both of them are doing business in India. That means they have the same government, same society, same population, okay, same laws. That means their macro is same. Their macro environment is same, but their micro environment is different. Their micro environment is different. So that is what you need to understand. So that is why it is called as specific environment, and that is why macro environment is called as general environment, because it is general to all. Now let us see the names of other names of macro environment. See, macro environment is far away from the business, means it is somewhat far away compared to the micro environment, hence it is called as remote environment. And macro environment is general to all operating in that area, hence it is called as general environment. Okay, and you cannot directly interact with the factors of the macro environment, then you may call it as indirect environment. Okay, so macro has four names. You can call it as macro, remote, general, indirect. And whereas micro has five names, you can call it as micro, task, specific, immediate, or direct environment. Okay, right. This micro environment influences an organization regularly and directly. Under this, a firm should analyze the factors such as customers, suppliers, competitors, intermediaries, etc. That already we know, cosmic factors. Now coming to macro environment. It consists of demographics, economic conditions, socio-cultural factors, political and legal systems, technological developments, and global trends. That is all spelt G factors. Now macro factors means spelt G, socio-cultural, technological, political, economic, legal, global, etc. And these constitute the general environment. I told you the reason why the macro environment is called general, because it is common. It is common to all the people operating in that particular area. Next, it is largely external to the firm and thus beyond the direct influence and control of the firm. This is a very important point. See, in micro environment, you can to some extent control the micro environmental factors. These cosmic factors to some extent you can control, but you cannot control these macroeconomic factors. They are beyond the direct influence and control of the firm. That means you cannot control them. Whereas you can control, to some extent at least, you can control the micro factors, but you cannot control the macro factors. Next, the differences between micro and macro environment. It consists of those factors which operate in the immediate periphery or layer of the firm. Okay, that means already we discussed. Immediate periphery means these micro environmental factors are very close to our business, and without them there is no business. Without customer, without supplier, without intermediary, without market, without organization, what you will do? So without micro environment there is no business. That is why you have to regularly and directly interact with the micro factors. And macro, it consists of those factors which are largely external to the firm. That means the government, the technology, they show indirect impact on you, not a direct impact. And it affects the functioning of the company at the daily operating level. That is what I am telling you. You need to daily interact with the environment. And if it affects the very survival or existence of a firm in the business. That means if you don't pay attention to the macro factors, if you don't pay attention to what the government is doing, if you don't pay attention to what new laws are coming, if you don't pay attention to the new technology trends in the market, if you don't pay attention to the tastes and preferences of the customers, the changing trends in the society, then you cannot do your business. You cannot continue your business. So that is very important. That is why the macro environmental factors are very much helpful for the survival and existence of a business firm. Next, the influence of these factors on business firms is direct in nature. That already we studied, and I told you the reason for that. The influence of these factors on business firms is indirect in nature. That means the macro factors, most of the times, they show indirect impact on you, not a direct impact, an indirect impact. Okay? And these factors are controllable to some extent. Yes. That means if there is a problem with the customer, you can sit and talk and you can resolve it. If there is a problem with the supplier, you can talk to him, you can settle the issue. That is in your hands. If there is a problem with the intermediary, the distributor or the wholesaler or the retailer, you can talk to them, you can settle the issue. That is very easy. And to some extent we can manage at least. But the macro factors, the technology, the government, the legal, political factors, these all, how can you manage? Will the government listen? If you say, sir, don't implement GST, will the government listen? No. So, they are beyond, means not in your control at all. What? Macro factors. But micro factors, to some extent, you can talk to them, you can resolve the issues, you can sort out the issues, and you can settle the problems. Okay? So, these factors are beyond the direct influence and control of the firm. Next. So, with that we have finished 4 topics. Now, let us go to the MCQs related to these 4 topics. Because these are all small topics and related topics. That is the reason I completed the 4 topics at a time, and let us go to MCQs. And we also have very small number of MCQs in each topic. Right, the first one. Which one of the following influence business and also gets influenced by it? Which one of the following influence business and also gets influenced by it? Obviously, environment. Environment will influence you, and environment will also have influence from you. So, the answer is environment. Which one among the following represents all external forces, factors or conditions that exert some degree of impact on the business decisions taken by the firm? That means, who will show impact on you, on your decisions, on your strategies? Definitely it is business environment. A successful business has to identify, apprise and respond to the various dash in its environment. See, I told you we have to know our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats before making a decision. And if you want to know the opportunities and threats, you have to study the external environment, or simply we say environment. And strengths and weaknesses are internal, not external, internal. That means you have to look inside, you have to make a self-analysis to know the strengths and weaknesses. To know the opportunities and threats, you have to look outside. What opportunities are there in the environment? What threats are coming from the environment, you have to observe. But to know the strengths and weaknesses, you have to look inside. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Okay. So, a successful business has to identify and apprise and respond to various dash in its environment, to various opportunities and threats in the environment. The business should continuously dash and dash to the environment if it is to survive and prosper. See, you have to continuously monitor and adapt if you want to survive and prosper in the business. So, the answer is monitor and adapt. So, the answer is monitor and adapt. It cannot be identify and apprise because they have the same meaning. It cannot be identify and monitor because in monitoring identification also happens. And it cannot be monitor and apprise because again they have the same meaning. So it is monitor and adapt. What are the prerequisites for a firm to respond to the external environment? See, if you want to respond to the external environment, what you have to do? First, you have to monitor the environment, then you have to identify the factors, and you have to develop the capacity to respond to the environment. That means all the three things we have to do. So the answer is all of the above. Next, small business firms need not monitor the changes taking place in the environment. See, irrespective of the size of the business, whether your business is a small business or a large, very large, ultra large, you have to analyze the environment, because environment shows impact on all the businesses irrespective of the size. So even small businesses also should monitor the changes taking place in the environment. So that is a false thing, because here it is said need not monitor, but what I am telling, you have to monitor. Now, the external environment always possesses threats to the business enterprise. How can we say that? See, external environment gives both opportunities and threats. That all depends on whether it is favorable to us or not. If something is favorable to us, it is an opportunity, and if something is unfavorable, it is threat. And external environment will give us both opportunities and threats. We cannot say that an external environment always gives threats to us. It also gives opportunities. So that is a false statement. Now topic 2. Which one of the following factors is highly uncontrollable? See, suppliers comes under micro, controllable to some extent. Employees, micro, controllable to some extent. Intermediaries, micro, controllable to some extent. So none of these is the answer, because all of them are to some extent controllable. By sitting and talking and resolving, we can control. The immediate environment with which the firm operates is called as, yes, what is the other name of micro environment? Immediate environment. So the answer is micro environment. Customers, shareholders and competitors, etc. are the elements of, where did we study them? In the micro environment. No, cosmic, customer, organization, suppliers, market, intermediaries and competitors. So they all come under micro environment. And micro environmental factors are not beyond the control of a firm. Yes, they are not beyond. Beyond means not in your control. Not beyond means to some extent in your control. That is a true statement. Value system, mission and objectives, organizational structure will constitute. Where did we study all of these factors? Internal environment. Next, which of the following environment is also known as remote environments? What are the other names of macro environment? General environment, remote environment and macro environment. Okay, so that is macro environment. Which environment affects the day-to-day business activities? Obviously, it is micro environment, because I told you, I explained you that every day we have to interact with our customers, suppliers, intermediaries, all of them come under micro environment. Dash influences an organization regularly and directly. With whom you will directly and regularly talk each other for all your tasks. It is micro environment. Next, coming to the topic 4. Which of the following environmental factors will have an indirect influence on business firms? Micro environment is called as direct environment because it is having direct influence on your business, whereas macro factors will have indirect influence. So macro environment will have an indirect influence on your business. And macro environmental factors are neither fully controllable nor fully uncontrollable. See, macro environmental factors are beyond the control of an enterprise, and we cannot say to some extent they are controllable. We cannot say that here, because it is given nor fully uncontrollable. That means to some extent we can control. No, that is not done. So that is a false statement. So with that, we have finished the top 4 topics. Now let us go to the 5th topic, that is elements of micro environment. So far we have seen the types of the environment, okay, and their definitions and all. Now let us go and study about the elements of micro environment. what elements will come under micro environment. You already know what are the elements of the micro environment. They are cosmic. Competitors, organizations, suppliers, market, intermediaries, customers. Now let us learn one by one about them, how they will influence our business. See, it consists of all those factors that affect the functioning of a business firm in the daily operating level, that we know. These factors are specific to an individual firm and are controllable to some extent. That also we know, we studied. Now let's come to the first element of micro environment, that is competitors. You know who are the competitors? Competitors are the people trying to grab the same thing. They are in the same business and they are trying to grab the same market and same customer. Now they are said to be competitors. They are competing with each other for the sake of resources as well as markets. Say for example, here these are all competitors once upon a time. Of course, some of them are not there in the market now, but these are all competitors once upon a time, because they tried to grab the same customer and they are doing business in the same telecom market. So these are all competitors. So competitors refer to other business entities that compete for resources as well as markets. Means, for example, there are two competitors, there are two people, say X and Y, and they are in the same line of business, making the same product, then what they do? They'll try to sell the product to the same customer. Now, there will be a rivalry among them. There will be a competition among them. So, they are said to be competitors. But what you need to understand here, competition may be direct or indirect. Competition may be direct or indirect. Direct competition is between firms which are in the same business activity. So, this is the best example of direct competition, because these are all direct competitors once upon a time. Okay, means they are in the same business activity, doing the same business and targeting the same customer. But whereas indirect competition is not so easy to find out, because we cannot know the direction from where this indirect competition comes, because you can have indirect competition from different sources. Okay, from different sources. Let us see what are they. Indirect competition is between firms in different areas of activity. Say for example, a person wants to buy a car and he has some 5 lakh rupees with him. He wants to buy a car and he has acquired that money, he has saved that money, or he has just accumulated that money to buy a car. And immediately a tourist operator came to him and he has motivated this person called X to go for a world tour. He has tempted him very badly. He told him, you cannot get this offer in your lifetime. Because of this COVID situation, the prices are slashed. Now you are getting to go on a world tour at a dead cheap price of 5 lakhs so that you can visit some 15 countries across the world, and this is a very good offer. In that way, the tourist operator tempted this guy. Now what he did, this X, instead of buying a car, he has given that 5 lakhs rupees to the tourist operator and went on a world tour. Now here there is an indirect competition, because actually this person has that money to buy a car, and this tourist operator became a competitor to the car manufacturer and attracted the customer and made the customer to go to the world tour by paying him the 5 lakh rupees. So this is the best example of indirect competition. So indirect competition means, see, actually this tourist operator is, this tourist business is different business and car business is different, but they are trying to attract the same customer. That is the point you need to understand. The same 5 lakhs. The car operator is targeting the 5 lakh rupees from the customer, and the world tour operator also concentrating on the 5 lakh rupees from the customer. That means there is a competition here. But that is not a direct competition, that is an indirect competition. Because they are not doing the same business. For example, if there is a competition between two car manufacturers, you can say it as direct competition. But here it is not two car manufacturers. It is a tourist operator and a car manufacturer who are entirely in different areas of activity, but competing for the same customer, competing for the loyalty, competing for the money, competing for the attention of the same customer. Hence, you can say that there is an indirect competition. Okay? Right. The major questions to be addressed for analyzing the competition are: who are our competitors? What are their present strategies and business objectives? And who are the most aggressive and powerful competitors? See, you need to be very attentive regarding the competitors. Always in business, you need to have an eye over your competitor. What he is doing, what are their strategies? Okay, how they are going to grab the market? Who are my competitors? And among the competitors, who are the most powerful ones? See, you may have 10 competitors, but all the 10 of them may not be equally powerful and equally aggressive. Some of them are normal competitors or nominal competitors, but some of them are very powerful, very aggressive, trying to grab the business and reduce your profit margins. So, you need to pay attention to those type of powerful and aggressive competitors. Okay, so that is what you need to understand. And now the second one, organization itself. After analyzing about the competitors, we have to analyze about ourselves. Self-analysis. Organization means it is called as internal analysis or self-analysis. That means we have to know what are our strengths and what are our weaknesses. Then only we can make right kind of decisions in the business. See, what is the best decision? The best decision is the decision which is made according to your SWOT analysis. That is the best decision to you. There will be no universally best decision. A decision which is best for you may not be best for me, because your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats are different, and my strengths, weaknesses and opportunities are different. So, how can a single decision be best to both of us? Because your SWOT is different and my SWOT is different. Okay, so that you need to understand. Right. Now, in the organization means your policies, your procedures, your practices, your culture, these all you need to analyze, because there lies your strengths and weaknesses. For example, if you have a good relationship between your employees and yourself, then that is a strength to your organization. But on the other hand, if the relations are tarnished, if the relations are spoiled between the employer and the employee in an organization, then that is a weakness to the organization. So, you have to analyze. That is called self-analysis. And generally, who will affect the organization's environment? First of all, it is owners, no? Because owners, with their decisions, they will affect the internal environment of the organization. Who are the owners? Who are the owners, sir? It may be the individuals, shareholders, groups or organizations who have a major stake in the organization, will have interest in the well-being of the company. See, for example, I am a shareholder of a company and I always think for the prosperity and success of the company, isn't it? Definitely. So, owners are the most important people, and these owners, what they do? They appoint the board of directors. And you know, the fate of the company depends on the decisions made by the board of directors. We need to have an excellent, efficient, competent people with caliber in our board. So then they can make right kind of decisions. So that is the most important thing. The board of directors is elected by the shareholders and is charged with overseeing the general management of the organization to ensure that it is being run in the best interest of the shareholders. That means the board of directors should always take decisions in such a way that the business is carried out in a profitable manner, giving good returns to the shareholders. And the third and most important component is employees. Employees are the people who actually do the work in an organization, that everyone knows. And there should be synchronization between the values of goals of the employees and with that of the firm. That means, what do you mean by synchronization? Synchronization means uniformity. There should be an uniformity. That means the employees should understand what the employer is telling, and the employer should understand what the employees are telling. So there should be a synchronization, there should be a uniformity, there should be a coordination, understanding, harmony between the employers and employee. Then only the organization will function. Then that becomes a strength to the organization. On the other hand, if there is no synchronization between the employee and the employer, then that becomes a weakness to the organization. So, in an organization, these three people, the owners, board of directors and employees, they show a great impact on the internal environment of the organization. So, these three people should work in a perfect manner. And now the third element of microenvironment is suppliers. Very carefully you have to pay attention to the suppliers, because these are very important people in the supply chain of your business. If you don't maintain good relationship with the suppliers, then you cannot make your production in a proper way, and you cannot have a cost effective way of producing the goods, because it is suppliers who decide the cost structure of the industry, the cost of production of your goods and services. And you know what suppliers will do? Suppliers provides inputs like raw materials, components, equipment, services, etc. And firms have to select an option between make or buy, that is in-house production versus outsourcing, depending on the supplier environment. See, shall I make, for example, I am a businessman. Now I am thinking, I am a businessman and I am thinking, make or buy. Okay, make or buy the raw material. What should I do? Shall I make the raw materials on my own or shall I buy them? So it all depends on the supplier environment. If there are many suppliers in the market offering raw materials at lower prices, then it is a better decision to buy from them. On the other hand, in case 2, if there are less number of suppliers and the raw material availability is also very less, and if the suppliers are asking for higher prices, then it is a better idea to make raw materials on your own. So, make or buy decisions are made. Make or buy decisions are made basing on the supplier environment. That is very important. And suppliers with their own bargaining power affect the cost structure of the industry. They constitute a major force which shapes the competition in the industry. Here there are 2 points. Supplier with their bargaining power affect the cost structure. See, suppliers always asks for higher prices for the raw materials. And if the businessman pays them, what happens? The cost of production increases. And the second point, they constitute a major force which shapes the competition in the industry. See, for example, if there are more number of suppliers offering raw materials at cheaper prices, automatically many people come into the business. Why? The reason is the raw material is available cheap and there are many suppliers. Automatically the competition will be very high. And on the other hand, if there are less number of suppliers and there is a shortage or scarcity of raw material, then new entrants who wants to come into the business, they will not come, because there is a shortage of raw material. Already existing players are facing a lot of problem. So that you need to understand. Now the next element, market or industry. See, market means generally people think that it is customers, but in market you need to study more things. Okay, That is why we say market is larger than customers. A manager should study the latest trends, developments and key success factors of the market in which the business is operating. That means, for example, if you are the manager of a company called X and your name is A. Now, what you have to observe in the market? What are the trends that are coming in the market? What people wants? Okay, in order to get success in the market, what you should do? See, in every business, there will be some key success factors. Key success factors. So, a manager has to find out those key success factors. Okay, and these key success factors change from company to company. And sorry, not from company to company, from industry to industry, these key success factors change. In automobile industry, the key success factor may be design, mileage, technology. In apparel industry, in cloth industry, the key success factors may be color, design and quality of the cloth. So likewise, in every industry, there will be some key success factors and a marketing manager has to find out them. And in addition to that, what you have to know? The current and future size of the market. The actual means the present size of the market and what will be the size of the market in future, that you need to find out. And will the business be attractive in the future? Will we get the same returns in the future after 10 years? Will we get the same returns? So that you need to find out. Growth prospect and attractiveness. And cost structure of the market. That means what will be the cost of selling into the market. You see, the in Indian market, the cost structure is very high because of taxation, interest rates and many other things. In India, these are all very high. See, that is why we now know the iPhones are sold at cheaper prices in Singapore market or in China market, whereas in Indian market, they are sold very expensive. What is the reason? Cost structure of Indian market. Here we have higher rates of taxes, higher rates of interest rates. So that also you need to find out. And the price sensitivity of the market. What the customers do if you change the prices. You have to check the price sensitivity of the market. That means you have to study the elasticity of demand. Okay. And the technological structure of the market. What technology should we use to reach the customers? Today we have online sales, drone deliveries, these all things. And existing distribution system. How the products are distributed by the competitors in the market. How many of them are using offline routes? How many of them are using online routes? How many of them are using traditional methods? How many of them are using innovative methods of delivering the goods to the customer? That you need to check out. And is the market mature? Means, see, for every product there will be a life cycle. For every market there will be a life cycle. Introduction, growth, maturity and decline. So you need to check out whether the market is mature or not. Because the strategies will change. Introduction strategies will be different. Maturity strategies will be different. So for that we need to know whether the market is mature or not. Next, intermediaries. Intermediaries, you know, these are the most important people in the chain and they form an important link between the customer and the producer. See, here the producer is there and here the customer is there. So how can the producer's product reach the customer? Will directly producer go to the customer's place and deliver? No. In between there will be intermediaries like wholesalers, dealers, distributors, retailers, online sellers. Many people will be there. So these people will take the product from the producer's place to the customer's place. And they are showing an considerable influence on the business organization. See, if you have some problem with the intermediary, what happens? Who is the ultimate loser? Not the customer, not the intermediary, but the producer is the ultimate loser. Because the producer's goods do not reach the customer's place. Okay. And it is a common experience. We use many products. Do we really know the manufacturers or the producers of the product? Have you seen their faces? No. From where do we buy them? If someone asks you, where do you buy? You will say, I bought it from Amazon. Or you will say, I bought it from the local grocery store. But you will never say, I went to the factory and bought it. Okay. So that is the importance of intermediaries. And now coming to consumers or customers. See, Peter F. Drucker says, Peter F. Drucker is the father of management, a great personality. What he says, the aim of business is to create and retain customers. That means you have to work hard in business to create the customers. And once you create a customer, you have to retain him. And here one more thing is given. Customer need not be a consumer. For example, you have purchased a good, your father has purchased a good for you, an item for you, and you are using it. Then you are called as consumer. And your father is purchasing it and he is called as customer. Okay. Now, what things you have to observe regarding the customers or consumers? How many types of customers are there? Potential customers. How many groups like young, old, male, female, how many types of customers are there? What are the benefits they are expecting from your product? And how they buy? Will they buy in bulk or will they buy in sample? Will they buy in larger proportions? That you need to check. And changes in consumer tastes and preferences. You know, very frequently the tastes and preferences of the consumers keep on changing. So that also you need to check it out. So with that, micro factors are over. We will stop there and continue in the next session. Thank you.
Hi students, just now you have watched a sample of RRB videos available in Masterminds app for all the subjects of CA Foundation. If you like this video and if you are interested to purchase the entire course of a particular subject, that means entire RRB videos of a particular subject, yes, they are available right in your hands. So open your mobile phone and please do install an app called Masterminds Online Classes, which is available in Google Play Store. After that, enter your particulars and in the home screen you will find an option called Store. Please click that option and these are all the filters. So one of the filters you will be able to see is CA Foundation RRB. If you click this option, you will find the RRB videos of all the subjects. And whatever the subject you want, you can purchase through this app. So it's not required for you to purchase the RRBs of all the subjects. Whatever the subject you like, you can purchase the same. And even mathematics, statistics and reasoning are being uploaded as 3 separate subjects. And for each subject we have given detailed explanation of sometimes 30 to 40 hours. So in just a matter of 30 to 40 hours, you will be able to revise the entire subject. That is the beauty of these RRB videos. And you can even watch these videos in iOS platform. If you belong to iOS platform, please do install an app called Class Plus and enter the organization code as MZGUN. Then you will be able to access all these videos in iOS platform also. My dear students, if you have any academic issues, please do send a mail to my mail ID mssprakash2012@gmail.com. And my dear students, not only RRB videos, all the videos related to CA Foundation are available in the same app. So for example, CA Foundation regular batch videos of all the subjects, CA Foundation crash batch videos of all the subjects, and sometimes CA Foundation chapter wise videos of some important chapters are also available in the same app. So if you are interested to buy a particular subject, then you can purchase the same through this app. So either CA Foundation regular batch or crash batch videos are already available here. So through this app, at the convenience of your mobile phone, you can watch any videos of your choice without any human intervention. And you can pay the amount through various options. So my dear students, I hope that all of you will enjoy these services. All the best. Let's have a glimpse into the roots of the Masterminds. So Masterminds were established in 2002 and is undeniably the pioneer and the leader in MEC, CA and CMA coaching in India with a lion's share of nearly 20,000 admissions per annum. It is an incredible initiative by three visionary edupreneurs. That is me, MSS Prakash, Chartered Accountant, my brother Mohan, my sister-in-law Radha. From the same family at a very young age under the successful mentorship of our father, Mr. M. Sivaprasad. Within the shortest span, our presence have expanded to almost all major cities of AP and Telangana. We are humbled to say that very soon we want to expand to the states of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu also. So especially with the wishes and support of all our old students. We offer best quality services for MEC with integrated coaching for CRCMA Foundation. Exclusive MEC CEC coaching is also available. Regular class, study hours and revision exams, MMTS services for all the levels of CSCMA courses. And recently we launched a unique academic program called MEC Pro, aiming the students who aspire to pursue BBA, CLAT or MDA in future rather than CSCMA courses, and we have received excellent response. So our students have achieved first rank for 47 times in various courses that we offer coaching. Till now, our students have bagged 977 All India ranks in all the stages of CSCMA courses. So 98 All India ranks in a single attempt of CMA inter and final exams, and 180 All India ranks in CSCMA courses in 2019 and 20 alone. So 3 All India first ranks in the year 2020 alone. So right now we have around 150 batches of various courses in Guntur and all our branches together.